Okay, let's go over a few of the very basics of machine maintenance, giving special attention to the air filter, and I'll explain why in a second. Here you see I'm greasing up the Zerk fittings on my machine. There are 9 on each side. You're going to want to do this at least once every 10 hours of machine maintenance. If you have a fitting that won't take grease anymore, you need to replace it. Of course, obviously here I'm checking the tire pressure. The manual says to keep it up to maximum pressure, but sometimes I'll do about 5 psi less. And even though it's rarely a problem, you do want to feel your lug nuts and make sure nothing's coming loose, because a small problem can become a big problem. Now, somewhere on your machine, you're going to be able to see the level of hydraulic fluid. You definitely don't want to go low on hydraulic fluid. And then we're going to check out some of the things on the inside. Here, my coolant is nice and easy to find. It's at the right level. And naturally, of course, you want to make sure that you don't operate your machine with too low of oil. So here I'm checking the oil level. All right, maybe getting a little low on the oil, but there's enough to operate it. I'll probably put a little more in. Okay, now what I really want to talk about is the air filter. That's especially a problem for us in the composting industry. Very dusty job. So open it up a little more, take the radiator up. Okay, there's the air filter housing and the nipple. That screen is where the air comes into the machine closest to the air filter. Definitely want that clear. So I'll open it up and I will take off. I'll knock out the dust, of course. Take off the nipple, shake that out. I'll blow that out a little later. Okay, and I'll take off the outer air filter, but I will leave the blue inner air filter in there. Okay, and you can get a lot of dust out of your outer air filter just by, banging on it with your hand. Be patient, do it for quite a while. And then I get the most out of it by getting a shop vac, blowing out the nipple and the cap there. And then both on the outside and the inside of the air filter, I'll just take my time and blow as much dust as I can out of the thing. And that sticker you see with the diagrams, that's not supposed to come off of there, but a fair amount of dust, especially fine particles, will collect there. So you really want to get as much of that out of there as you can. Oh, and a quick note, a friend of mine who's got a lot of big machinery says not to use a compressed air container, because he says that has a little bit of oil in there that will collect on the air filter and actually make it worse. So I also take the shop vac, and without removing that blue air filter, I blow out the housing. Then I'll put the outer air filter back on, nice and snug. You want it seated properly. Close it all back up with the cap and the nipple. And then I'll spend a good few minutes here blowing out all the debris and all the dust I can off the door, out of whatever I can reach in there. And you'll see sometimes I'll get a good bit of cloud of debris. I definitely want to wear not only ear protection because the shop vac is loud, but also a dust mask because you're going to have a lot of fine particulates. You don't want to be breathing that in. Unfortunately, a lot of it will blow around but stay in there. So eventually what I do is I'll change it from blowing to sucking that out, and I'll vacuum that out. Okay, and here I'm clearing out the radiator. You can see clouds of dust coming up. Takes a little while to get between all the blades of the fan. And yeah, here I am changing it from blow to vacuum. And then the last little bit that's in there, I try and be thorough and clear that out. Now, sometimes you might feel like this is overkill, but I'm telling you, 15 minutes a few times a week is really going to increase the longevity of your machine and the performance of your machine. It's well worth it.